Hey everybody, welcome into Tuned Into NoCo. I'm Ashlee, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with the Managing Director of Fort Collins Insurance, Jackie Jackson, and the founder of the Grace Upon Grace project, Emily Jorgensen. Well, first off, Emily and Jackie, thank you so much for joining me today. It's amazing having you both here. Emily, do you mind explaining to our listeners what Grace Upon Grace is?
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you for having us. Grace Upon Grace Project is a local nonprofit that is focusing on addressing diaper need and period poverty here in Northern Colorado.
I was talking to Jackie earlier, actually, and we were talking about like food stamps. You cannot purchase diapers or period products with food stamps.
No, there are no governmental funding agencies that you can use to purchase diapers, wipes, or period products. So most families are left having to choose between paying a bill or purchasing products or potentially putting gas in their car or buying period products. So when they're left to choose like that, it's a really hard decision for our families.
For sure. And Jackie, do you mind explaining what Fort Collins Insurance is and how you got involved with Grace Upon Grace?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fort Collins Insurance is a local insurance broker. We focus on homeowners, auto, and commercial insurance. We got involved with Grace Upon Grace because we are very involved in the community as it is. But having a 4-year-old daughter ourselves, when we found out that period poverty is still going on in Northern Colorado, and there's girls missing school, there's women's missing work, they don't have adequate products, we don't believe that's something that should ever be missed in hygiene in general.
For sure. And you guys just earned the 2022 Make More Happen Award. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So one of our carriers, Safeco and Liberty Mutual, has that award. We went ahead and did an application for the nationwide, I don't want to call it a contest. It's not a contest, but it's the application to win, I guess. So it was really fabulous. What that meant with them choosing Grace Upon Grace Project and their need is they won $5,000 right away. And then we had an opportunity to double that additional $5,000 with our community going ahead and giving us 500 votes on a social media campaign.
Wow. And you told me that you guys recently met that goal. So you have made the $10,000. That's amazing.
Yes, we're so excited.
Awesome. And I did notice that you guys are going to be putting this money towards Project's Northern Colorado program.
We're going to be using the $10,000 for I wouldn't say new program, but something that we have always been slowly addressing. So this gives us a little bit more opportunity to address access to period products in schools for students. So the Northern Colorado programs that we're working with or creating is looking at the schools in Northern Colorado and then ensuring that all students have access to period products so they can remain focused on learning instead of where they can find their next period products. So we're doing that through supporting schools to implement a program to ensure that period products are in all of their bathrooms. And then we're also going to be addressing chronic period poverty that students are facing by creating a program to have 3-month period kits to ensure that they have access to period products outside of the school as well, so their families aren't having to choose between the period products or the food on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I was talking to Jackie before this interview, like having like your kid go to school, they're on their period, they don't have anything, like what that kid is going to go through. Yeah, that's really rough. As far as Northern Colorado, do you guys have any like statistics on how bad this is?
There's no statistics for Northern Colorado. There's a general statistic that 1 in 4 individuals currently struggles to buy period products right now. And so that's something that we really think is important to address because when you look around, it could be a friend, a family member, or just someone sitting next to you in a room, and you have no idea that the shame or insecurity they're feeling because they don't have access to these products.
Right. For sure. If someone is interested in getting involved to help out in any way they can, where should they go? What can they do?
They can visit our website. It's just graceupon.graceproject.org. And from there, they can look at our Get Involved section. We have lots of different volunteer opportunities, whether it be our volunteer day where we spend days customizing period kits or packing diapers for our families. And then we also have our distribution day, which is a once a month where we actually distribute products to our families. And then as we get more involved with the schools, we're going to be needing more volunteers to help us create kits for the school, for the students. So lots of different ways.
Totally. And so do you have like an event coming up where you guys are doing this?
No, we don't right now. We actually just hosted our last event for Period Poverty Awareness Week, so we just missed it, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Well, how did that go?
It was wonderful. So we had our event at Backyard Tap where we were able to build 1,000 emergency period kits for our local community members, and then we're actually able to build 1,020 first period kits for first-time menstruators, which will be distributed to just first-time menstruators across northern Colorado.
Awesome. Wow. So you guys have been staying pretty busy.
We have been, yeah. We have a lot going on, which is really exciting for us and then really exciting for our community because as we grow, obviously we're ensuring that they have access to basic necessities to thrive and grow, which is important to us.
Absolutely. So when you guys finish making these products, do you donate them?
So we have a couple ways we distribute. One of the ways, like I said, is through our distribution days, which is direct distribution to our clients or members of the community. The other way we distribute is when school's in session, we provide to the schools. But then we also partner with agencies across northern Colorado for our emergency kit program. So right now we have 13 partner agencies for our emergency period kits, and we have 9 partner agencies for our emergency diaper kits.
Awesome. Wow. Way cool. All right. So kind of switching gears here, either one of you can answer this question. In fact, I'd love for both of you to. Just give me an idea, like what's your background? What's your story? How did you guys get involved in what you're doing right now?
I'll go first. So I got this idea for Grace Upon Grace project when the hurricanes hit in Texas. And I wanted to do a small diaper drive because I learned that diapers and period products were kind of one of the least donated items. And so I couldn't imagine fleeing my home because of a disaster and not having access to period products or diapers for a child. It kind of always was on the back of mind after that if they're needed in an emergency situation, they're probably needed around our community all the time. And then after traveling 6 weeks after having my son, I was not prepared for my period and found myself rationing period products on a cruise while we were in Greece. And just the shame and like embarrassment that comes with having a period. I'm ready to be done with it. I want women to feel empowered. I want people to understand that periods are natural and that nobody should have to feel the way I felt when I was rationing period products.
Yeah.
And so I got home from our trip and I just looked at my husband and said, it's time to do something. And Grace Upon Grace Project was born from hearing other people's stories about their struggles, but then also my own shame that came with my period and wanting to create that change in our community. So that's where Grace Upon Grace Project was really born from.
That's amazing. What about you, Jackie? How did you get involved in everything? What's your background?
Yeah, so my background a little bit is I actually have, I went to University of Northern Colorado. I have a business and communications degree. I was raised in a family, though, of small business owners that always had a big heart for the community. I was always taught since I was a child that God gave us a heart so that we could care and give back to others. So after that, I went to corporate positions such as business and senior management, which had me really involved in the community with different things. And then me and my husband now have Fort Collins Insurance as a small business. He'd been working in it for 8 years, and I transitioned over from corporate. And with that, I really have been able to be involved in the community, kind of without those chains of corporate, I guess, to say in a better way of what we can support and what it looks like. And actually, the way that I found Grace Upon Grace was my trainer out of British Columbia that I do virtually hosted a drive for like tampons and pads and things like that. And she was talking about period poverty. And I was like, I remember reaching out to Emily. I'm like, I hate to say this. I feel a little uneducated about this. Like, is this still going on? Tell me about your cause. We connected. And when she told me about it, having a daughter myself and then also being a female, I'm like, this should not be something, like Emily said, that we're shameful about. This should be something this is something that happens naturally, and we should be able to have those products. And also having a child, I just can't imagine not being, or, rationing diapers or not being able to have those diapers. So knowing Emily and getting to know her more in this cause, it is so important for our community that it just couldn't be ignored. So I felt very hopeful finding her cause, and I feel honored to be able to be a part of it by volunteering and hosting drives. And then I was so excited when Safeco and Liberty Mutual chose her for the award of this money. So
that's amazing. Seriously, and what you both do is incredible. Before this interview, I didn't know very much about period poverty at all. What would you tell a parent or a child that is having difficulty getting period products? Is there a place they can go? What would you say?
Absolutely. The first thing I would say is don't be ashamed, and then use your voice. You have a community here that's willing to help you. And one thing that's very unique about Grace Upon Grace Project is we are a no questions asked organization, meaning you don't have to qualify or prove that you need help. Our main goal is to remove barriers for members of our community. And one of those barriers we always felt was having to prove that you need the help. And so we really pride ourselves on, if you need help, we're going to be there to help you. And if we can't help you, we're going to help you find another community organization that can. One thing that we really believe is that we are so much stronger together, and we're here to help guide you through this process if you are experiencing diaper need or period poverty.
Thank you so much. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know?
I would say on my behalf, with the social media campaign that Liberty Mutual and Safeco helped us launch, there's a lot of ways to help Grace Upon Grace. So a lot of people have reached out to me saying they don't have time. There's also donation drives you can do from your porch, or you can have a girls' night and create period kits. There's a lot of wonderful ways to help Grace Upon Grace Project. So make sure you check them out at graceupongraceproject.org, because if you feel like you don't have time, there's ways to kind of make time to fit it in to help the community and people in need. And then some fun girls' nights, or something you could make of it to make those period kits to help them out as well.
Perfect. Well, awesome. You guys heard that. If you want more information, you want to volunteer, you want to help with period poverty in Northern Colorado, you can head to graceupongrace.org.